Hey world, it is your girl Roz, and I am coming to you because I wanted to talk about something that's kind of been heavy on my heart for like the last couple of days. And for some reason, when I speak about things was on Raw's mind or Raw's transparency or what have you, I get many inbox messages of thank yous and things like that. But today I wanted, so first of all, thank you for all who does reach out and tell me that I inspired them. Actually, sometimes I just speak my truth for me to release some things, and that's mainly why I use a social media platform to talk about some things, because mental health is no joke. And as I'm trying to heal properly and learn what's working for me, I kind of use social media as my outlet per se. So thank you all for your comments, whether they're good or bad. I truly appreciate them. Today I want to talk about something that happened between my husband and I and our daughter. They went to a party, and he texted me and said that he was kind of upset with our daughter. And of course, I texted back to see why. And he said that she won a gift, some small little toys that she won. And the party was a family member's house, but the family member is young. He is 3. He wanted the gifts, and my daughter didn't want to give it to her. So my husband was upset because he's like, it's just little toys. Like, she has all kind of stuff. She could have just gave it to him. And okay, that part could be true. Oh, and he said she started crying when he told her to give the gifts. That could have been true. She could have just gave them to him. But for some reason, something came over me, and I got extremely emotional to the point I started crying. And I called him, and I hopefully I don't get emotional. You guys know that I do get emotional, so I'm gonna try not to. But I called him and I asked him to hear me out as I was crying, and I said, I don't want my daughter to be like me. And he was totally caught off guard, like, huh? I said, she gives so much of herself. She gives everything. She see a child hungry, she launches Sake by Imani J, which it feeds kids. She see kids need school supplies, she buys them. She saves up her money to buy gifts. She does all of these things. I don't want her to be like me. And he was kind of still stuck. And I said, granted, she has lots of toys, but she won those toys. She won it. She played the game and she won. Why did she have to give them away? Why did she have to give something that she won away because somebody else wanted it? Why does she have to put her feelings aside constantly for someone else? And let's get this straight. I'm not saying that my daughter should be selfish. If you guys know my children, none of them are selfish in their own rights. They do lots of things, and especially Imani, she does lots of things in the community. But my question to him is why? Why do we take it away from her? Something that she won. She showed her emotion. She won it. She won it, and she wanted to keep the prizes that she won, to the point that it made her emotional when you told her she had to give them away, which made you emotional because she was crying. So you got frustrated. I want my children to be better than me. I strive for them to be excellent in their own mind. Not that they're perfect, because they are not perfect. All my life, I have given to everyone everything, even when it was killing me. I was loving what I thought was love. I was loving those people that was hurting me, even though loving them was hurting me. I would do things, or have done things in my past and sometimes in my present, that I really didn't want to do on the strength of sparing somebody else's feelings or doing something for somebody else. I don't know how to be selfish, and I have learned, and I am learning, that sometimes being selfish is okay. Sometimes I need to be selfish. Sometimes I need to give more of myself than to give to others. But here we are, my 8-year-old daughter, I'm teaching her that everybody else's feelings matters but hers. We are teaching her that. And I've realized I've been teaching my children the thing that I'm trying to learn. I'm trying to learn how to say no. I'm trying to learn how to put me first. I'm trying to learn that balance of when it's okay to help others, because we're going to always help. You know, we teach the foundation of God, family, and community. I strongly still believe in that, but there also needs to be some balance. I just turned 40 December the 6th. I did a video when I talked about how I watched my mother transition, and during her times of transition, her last words, her last breath was screaming out, calling for people who never came. Again, here she is transitioning, but she's still thinking about others. And my mom always was so selfless. I definitely get it from her, just looking out for others. But I kind of want to break that, not in a negative way, but in a way that will help my daughter and our 3 sons, help them to understand that balance, help them to understand when it's okay to say no. I don't have the time to give you to do this because I need my time. I need to focus on me. I need to be by myself. I need to, I'm sorry, I'm getting emotional. No, I don't want to give you these things because I want it. And it's my toy. You know, it's my gift. It's my bonus check. It's my money that I work for. And be okay with not feeling like you always have to give everything. Everything is not for everybody, but I was learning in that moment that I called my husband crying, which I didn't even understand why I was crying. But honestly, as I have been thinking about doing this video all weekend, honestly, it hit me. I've really heard my mom. I heard her in a way that was so clear. I heard her lesson that she was teaching me in the midst of my daughter wanting a toy. I heard her reminding me of what I told her that I was going to do, that I was going to start loving me first and putting my health, my mental health, my spiritual health, my physical health first, because I was good to no one if I didn't learn to put me first. And I heard her so clearly as I called my husband crying, telling him that he needed to talk to our daughter, because you have to explain to her and let her explain to you how she felt. And he did before he got home. So I talked to her and I explained to her the situation, because I wanted her to also hear from me. I have a great bond with all my children. While the boys are older and not always listen, and no kids always listen, they hear me. So as I set her down to talk to her and explain to her about learning to sometimes take time for herself, and not that I was teaching her to be selfish. Let me be very, very clear about that. I was explaining to her, I had her to explain to me first what had happened, and then I explained to her why her dad was so upset, and then I explained to her why I was upset, because I realized that I had taught her, or we had taught her, these behaviors. And so while I'm talking to my daughter about sometimes you have to be a little selfish, and sometimes you have to say, you know, no to people that you usually probably wouldn't want to say no to. And I get emotional because I'm having this deep revelation conversation with my 8-year-old daughter, and I start to cry, and she's looking at me, and then she touches my face and wipe a tear, and she said, "Mommy, don't cry, I'll do better." And I'm looking like, what? This little 8-year-old girl is so, I don't even know to explain the word for her. I really don't. And as I'm talking to her, and as she's wiping my tears, and as she's looking at me, so again, I don't know the word. I think of all the things that at 8 that she has overcome, or that she has been through. And I was reminded about the day that when she was in kindergarten, and I got a phone call that a little kid said to her on a playground that they couldn't play with her because they was allergic to brown skin people. And I remember how upset her teacher was and how upset I was, and I was just so full of anger, not to the kid because I know she was taught that, but they were kindergartens. Like, what kindergarten say this word? And I remember I had to get to the bus stop. School was about to be out, so I had to get to the bus stop so I can be there to comfort my daughter, because what she just experienced was, I mean, traumatic for me. So I just knew it was going to be traumatic for her. And I get to the bus stop, And she's crying, and she ran to me and she's like, I'm so sorry, mommy. I'm sorry. I got my friend in trouble. And I was stuck. She was crying because she thought that she got her friend in trouble because she tattletale. And here I am, hurt and frustrated because my daughter in kindergarten seeing some of the evils of the world and the evils because of her beautiful brown skin. And she was like, I got my friend in trouble and I shouldn't have tattletale. We could have talked it out. And as I was talking to her about being selfish sometimes to herself, I was reminded that from every moment of things that she'd been through, she always thought of the other person. She has never really thought about her. She saves all her money and she goes shopping for other people. She has campaigns for other people. And I had to literally stop and think about, like, wow, what is something that she stood firm on that she wanted and that she got that wasn't for somebody else? And the only thing she ever asked for that I can remember that was big was to go on a Disney cruise. And of course, we could not afford a Disney cruise, but we did go on a cruise, and she was so excited. Like, she keeps saying like it was the best thing of her life. And the other thing is she wanted to take a plane ride, which we haven't been able to do, and because of the pandemic, we're not going to be able to do now. But I just looked at this little 8-year-old girl and was like, my God, like, if only the world had a little bit more compassion about things what was going on. And I don't want to get off topic, because basically my topic is still what I believe is that I do want to teach her balance. I want her to know when it's okay to say no. I want her to know when it's okay to have her toys, when it's okay to have her time, when it's okay to just have her one-on-one time with her brothers, or her one-on-one time with her dad, or her one-on-one time with me, or just herself. I don't want her to give so much of herself that she becomes 40 like me, which is a blessing, but she becomes 40 and she's trying to figure out that balance and when it's okay to say, no, I can't help you, versus always trying to help and become so many weights on your shoulders that you just don't know how to balance it, because you're trying to make everyone happy. And all the people that you're making happy, they don't even see how miserable you are, or they don't see how your silence is speaking so loudly that they don't hear the cries out that you're screaming, no, I can't do it. Because as you're saying it internally on the outside, you're doing it, and you're saying, okay, I'll do it, and I'll figure it out, and I'll make a way, and all of these things. So I want us to be very cautious about what we're teaching, regardless if the school buildings are open or closed, or it's virtual learning or homeschool or whatever it is. School is always in session. Your children are always watching. People are always watching what you do, what you say, how you made them feel, how those things. And even talking to my daughter and trying to get her to understand how she didn't do anything wrong at the moment, and just trying to explain to her it's about how you react to certain situation. I still was reminded about some things. Here I am preaching to her of make sure that she realizes she needs to put herself first in some moments. I'm like, yeah, that is definitely not what I have been doing, but what I keep knowing I need to do. Knowing that not putting myself first has caused me more harm, when holding on to people, places, and things that I should have been let go has caused me more harm. I said in my last my live video on my birthday, I said that I have realized that sometimes letting people, places, and things go is a sign of growth. And it's not that I wish anybody any bad. I want us all to succeed. There's room at the table for everyone. We just can't all sit at the same table. But it doesn't mean that I doesn't wish anybody well. And the same thing for me. When people let me go, I held on to it, because I you know, I have abandonment issues, and I have issues of feeling like no one fights for me to keep my friendship, to keep my love, or to any of those things. I have been dealing with those forever. But I said on my live that thank you for letting me go, because you let me realize that you care more about yourself than you did about me. You let me go for whatever your reasons may be, whether they're valid, not, or whatever you feel you need to do for you. Then you're supposed to do it. You're supposed to do what you need to do to help your health, whether mentally, spiritually, financially, whatever it is. You need to do what you need to do to be okay within your own self, because we are living in some different times. And I know we say it all the time, life is short, but I have definitely seen how short life is when I have lost my mom in October 2019, then lost a great aunt, then lost my grandmother of June of 2020. And, you know, just death is just all around, and things are just happening. So I say all this to say, because I'm telling you, it's been on my mind all weekend, and I'm not really good with the whole YouTube thing. But my middle son, who has a YouTube channel and is really into trying to do this YouTube thing and get it on and popping, I had to call on him like, hey, how do you set this up? How you get the camera right, the angle right? I'm hoping I'm looking at the camera, because he told me exactly where to look at while I was speaking. You guys can follow him also. Follow him also on YouTube also, and he is a certified personal trainer. He's supposed to be getting me in shape, but that's a topic for another day. So shout out to my son on YouTube. His YouTube is Young Solo Baby. I wanted to make sure I had it right. So Young Solo Baby. So shout out to my mini me, Young Solo Baby, for helping me be able to set up this video to do it. But you guys, I say all that to say truly learn to put yourself first. Teach your children, yes, teach them to share. And I'm not a parent expert at all. I had my first kid at 18, second one at 21, third one at 25, fourth one at 31. I'm no expert at all, but I know a little of someone who's been dealing with mental health issues mostly all my life, PTSD, anxiety, and depression. And I've realized some of the things that trigger me, and some of the things that I'm going through that I need to overcome are the things that I'm teaching my kids. Is to just give yourself, you can do it, you can do it, you can do it, you can do it, and not really teaching them balance. I want them to be independent, but I want them to have balance. My kids have maintained honor roll while playing multiple sports in school and in Little League, and going to church and doing things in the community. Like, just always is boom, 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 boom. That until COVID came, I never taught them how to be still and how to make time for themselves. And scream when they need to scream, and laugh when they need to laugh. I've always been adamant about cry when you need to cry. I'm never telling my boys not to cry. That's for, you know, weak people. When they cry and someone tell them not to cry, I'm the one. Don't tell my babies not to cry. So yeah, basically I just don't want them to be 40 years old trying to figure it out. I don't want them to feel like they have to give all of their self all the time to everyone else, because then you have no time for yourself, and by the time you blink your eyes, you're 40, and the things that you wanted to do, you didn't get to do because you were busy trying to do for others. The things you wanted to say, you didn't get to say. And it's too late now because you was trying to spare others. And then sparing others has hurt you. And I'm not saying that you should just be out here vicious and malicious and saying things that hurt people. But I do believe that we need to put some things in perspective and put some boundaries on some things. And I'm telling you, when my husband texted me about the incident with our daughter, like I said, I didn't even realize how emotional I got until I got on the phone with him. And it just all came out, and I was like, wow, my mother, even in her last breath, was teaching me some things that I needed to understand. She was still teaching me, as she left, she was still teaching me what I needed to learn to be okay, what I needed to understand to go into the next level of life. She didn't want me to be like her. Like, I don't want my kids to be like me. She wanted me to be better than her, and I want them to be better than me, but understanding the balance of being better, because there were some things that I was taught in life, maybe not the best teaching, but it made me exactly who I am. And while I do have some flaws, I do have some great qualities. I'm going to say so myself, regardless if anybody else said. I'm going to pat myself on the back of some of those things. So it just made me be mindful of that. I definitely want my kids not to wear the scarlet letter of giving their self to everyone and not having time for their self, and not utilizing the tools, the therapists and counselors and things like that they need to get by. So this is your girl Roz, the queen of Manly's Blended Family, and it was just on my heart to talk about, so I had to take time to actually do this video. So feel free to comment. I will answer comments. I will do another video if it's a topic that you guys want to discuss. I will definitely do that. I'm no expert at all. I'm just learning to be more transparent so that I can help me heal healthy and also help you heal. So have a good day. I wish you the best. Thank you for listening.